Hello, MGTOWers, Red Pillars, male rights activists, and female male rights activists. This is the Music Man. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to be talking about high philosophy and psychology today. Masculine psychology. Psychology for men. Because what they are teaching in college now is crap, and any honest psychologist will tell you that. We are going to be discussing the logical fallacies and the cognitive biases which create the emergent properties in our Western society's judgments. Life has experiential data, which means that we tacitly interpret and judge reality in our experiencing of it. What is interesting is how we categorize masculinity and femininity. The Eastern mind has a masculine bias, and the Western mind has a feminine bias. Where survival is difficult, masculine values dominate, and where survival is easy, feminine values dominate. But the evolution and compartmentalization of male and female brains and their consideration sets happened during times of difficulty when survival was difficult, over millions of years. So whether we have a masculine or a feminine bias, we all categorize masculine and feminine in the same way, unconsciously, as the Eastern mind does. I'm going to paraphrase Heidegger, who was most likely paraphrasing Kierkegaard when he said, "The duty of the philosopher is to overturn the covert judgments of common reason." We must remember that the civilized world is not a natural environment, but an artificial one. Civilization makes feminine values possible, and civilization was created by men. This is recorded in Proto-Indo-European. The etymology of the word civil comes from chevalier, the French word for knight, which became the word cavalier, and then became the word cavalry. In the Tao Te Ching, male is designated by an unbroken line, yang, and female is represented by a broken line. Historically, Western men were raised to be insensitive to their own emotions and sensitive to the emotions of women. And women were raised to be insensitive to men and sensitive to their own emotions. Emotions have to be valid from a feminine perspective because babies communicate only emotional data and are completely dependent on their mothers. While the man had to be rational, analytical, and concerned with the world and the threats in the world, capable of creating a surplus of survival to attract a mate and provide for her and her babies. Female brains evolve different strategies for survival than do male brains. This is why I say that male brains are sociopathic and female brains are psychopathic. Psychopaths are over-coddled, spoiled children, and sociopaths are neglected or abused children. Because of the feminine bias of the Western world, we unconsciously categorize all perceived weakness as feminine and therefore non-threatening, and all masculinity as threatening and potentially dangerous. We remain critical and defensive of masculinity while allowing femininity to slip into our blind spot, where it can whisper in our ear, or stab us in the back, or manipulate us, sabotage us, undermine us, nag us, whine, and emotionally abuse us. We are trained to show mercy and charity to things appearing to be weak, stupid, or pretty, anything that cries uncle, and never to entertain the notion that they might be evil. Observe how Richard Dawkins talks. He sounds like an affectionate mother tucking her son in at night. He sounds non-threatening, soothing even. Could it be that he is copying the voice of the school teacher that molested him? Child grooming is a strategy used by pedophiles to prepare children to be molested. Observe how Jon Stewart leaks his bias. He considers himself a champion of women and the LGBT community, but he mocks Republicans and conservatives for being effeminate or even gay. Look at how he mocks, ridicules, and humiliates John Birch for being gay, and outs him because he is voicing a masculine argument and defending a conservative position. Doesn't it make the argument more interesting if a gay man is arguing against gay marriage? And then Jon Stewart immediately reverses positions and starts defending Bruce Jenner who is altering his gender. I don't have a problem with that. It just isn't interesting to me. I think most people feel the way I do. We are just sick to death of hearing about the Kardashians. There is no reason for them to be famous other than that they are famous. I don't believe most people think that Bruce Jenner is some kind of sex trader who realized how much easier women have it than men. But as far as Jon Stewart is concerned, no one should criticize Bruce, make fun of that other gay guy, John Birch. Interestingly, Jon seemed very, very sympathetic to a man wanting to be a woman. Apparently, Jon Stewart is the only one allowed to tell gay jokes. Well, that's it for today, men. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about how the female brain works, how it analyzes, how it categorizes, and how it makes decisions, and how it is in relationship with the male brain. This is the Music Man signing off.